Okay, everyone. Sorry for this rough cut, this rough edit, but I wanted to make sure this video was put out and I was not trying to re-record it. So I pretty much had to screenshot this and kind of like put it all together. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Hopefully you all can enjoy it and it doesn't disturb or take away from the reading at all. But again, just want to come in here and do my intro as well because that part got cut off for whatever reason. I don't know. My recording is just like really messy. As you can see, I was going through buffering issues and all that other stuff. But now that I have that first disclaimer out the way, the second disclaimer is that you all know that all statements made in this video are alleged for entertainment purposes only. You'll see it down in the description box and along the bottom of this video here. Make sure to not use tarot as the end all be all. Make sure you use discernment. And without further ado, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. You know today we're going to be getting into a reading on Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and if there really is a rivalry there in between the two. So let's get into it, and I'm going to be jumping straight into it. So I'm probably like 6 cards in by the time it gets to it. So sorry. Do this because for whatever reason, my camera kind of cut out. So I'm just going to go back and reiterate because I don't even know where I left off at. So I had the King of Pentacles in between the two. And to me, that's pretty interesting that we get that here because it's kind of like, I know it was rumored that they may have been doing all of this because it's like, okay, you're kind of taking away money from me. They're always being held up and compared to each other. It's kind of they feel like maybe one or the other is kind of like impeding on just kind of like what they acquire or their legacy. Their lighting is always so atrocious. Yeah, let's do it like that because that looks a little better. That one or the other is kind of like taking away from, the one. I do think they are in competition with each other in regards to just kind of like how much they can kind of make for whatever reason. And so then I went to shuffling just to get a bit more information on why Beyonce kind of has this 3 of Cups, 5 of Wands here just to kind of get some reassurances, because again, hers to me just kind of reads like playful competition, or like like when somebody is bigger or better than you and they kind of just laugh because they're like, there's no way you can touch me kind of thing. That's kind of like what that gives me. But we also do have the Moon card here, which speaks to self-soothing, moods, mother, nurturing, conditioning habits. So she might see her kind of like a little sibling, like a little sister kind of thing. Like we can kind of just help each other out in a sense. We're both, big women. We're both like giants in our own right. Like it is whatever. Like, I don't think she really sees her as any kind of competition like that. In regards to where Taylor Swift's kind of come up of like, she is on defense. And I don't know if it's just, again, with her, I know with most fire signs, there's always an underlying current of like, I feel like I'm competing with everybody and I'm trying to outdo them, even when it's not even a competition to kind of like be had. But let's see here. Let's see if we get some more information on why Taylor Swift is coming up as the Queen of Swords here. Huh? Where is Taylor Swift, the Queen of Swords? Why is Taylor Swift coming up as the Queen of Swords? Okay. So funny, we have the Moon here and then the Cancer. We have the Moon for Beyonce, but we have the Cancer card that came out for Taylor Swift. But it also reads Chiron. Hold on. But then we also have Chiron, which deals to wound healing. Amends trauma, shame, forgiveness. Did she feel like Beyonce hurt her some kind of way in the past? Behind her back? For whatever reason, she feels defensive against her. See, look, assets. I feel like I'm competing with her on some materialistic level. And that's what we got with that King of Wands. I mean, the King of Pentacles there as well. Are they like competing stardom wise? Because that's what's coming up for her. And then lastly, what does this King of Pentacles mean in between these two ladies? Spirit, can you give me some more insight into why the King of Pentacles is showing up for Beyonce and Taylor Swift energy? What is this? Why is this showing up in between these two ladies? Why is the King of Pentacles, the energies between these two? Challenge. So this reads, create tension, stall, sounds the alarm, motivates, pressure into, frustrates, struggles, reorients, hurts, workouts, and reconcile. Something happened behind the scenes where she didn't caught wind of something or something like that happened. Or maybe she kind of knows something shady about Beyonce or something. I don't know. What is this? Because here we go with the outlook for the underlying card here. And again, to me, on her end, on Taylor Swift's end, this really feels like competitive energy. Like, I'm going to watch you. Whereas Beyonce is just like, okay, I'll throw a bone. I'll throw my hat in the ring. Competing about their impact on the world. I don't think Taylor Swift would ever say it publicly, though, just because it wouldn't, like, what would be the point? You get what I'm saying? Like, both of you are big stars. What would be the point? And I have to say this. If there is something that Beyonce did shady to her or that she felt was being like a slight to her, Beyonce has paid her cards right. Because as far as I know, she hasn't done anything to Taylor Swift but show her genuine love. Can we get some more insight into this? Let's see. Caution. This caution is showing up throughout this whole thing. Idealism. Can we get any more clarifying cards here, Spirit, in regards to Beyonce and Taylor Swift? So they're definitely competing stardom-wise, just kind of like who's the bigger person. So here's some cards that flipped over. They did not touch the table. Independence, defense. We have convention. I think Beyonce feels like she's kind of stepped out the mode of what typical stars kind of get up, but I think she also admires her because in a way, her and Taylor Swift kind of do come from similar like beginnings, I guess you can kind of say. Restlessness, and then we have empathy. Can I get two more cards, spirits, to help clarify this energy between these two? Resistance. Two more cards.
Saber.
More cards.
Saber.
Okay.
Can you get your brother some juice?
Can you get one more card, Spirit, on the energies between Beyonce and Taylor Swift? Okay, and I got way more than that. 1 second. So I have organization. I have lust. Interesting. I have order. And then I also have optimism.
Well, that's mine.
And the underlying card is discovery. I do think they are competing with with their concerts and their movies right now to see kind of like who is going to have the bigger impact. I don't think it's going to be anything of like, oh, of rubbing it in the other one's face publicly. I think it's just going to be on some bragging rights type of thing. Interesting enough, we have this lust card here. I want to do Taylor Swift feels like she, like Beyonce, is a bar in which she is always being measured, that she can't really kind of like compete or keep up with, in a sense, maybe. And this could be just in her own mind, not saying like this is what it is, but just kind of like, I wonder if a part of her deep down just feels like, oh well, she is that girl. Like, how can I hold a candle to her? But something about Beyonce makes Taylor Swift wary. Like, she's on guard. She's defensive. Um, she is um she's very careful in how she kind of like interacts, and how she looks and moves when she's around her. It almost feels like Beyonce, yeah, intimidation. I would say that's probably the best way to put it. It feels like intimidating energy. Like she intimidates me. And in that sense, it's kind of like, no matter, Taylor Swift could be the one that's kind of like the bigger, better star. That's totally up to your own opinion. But she could probably be like the bigger star, at least when it comes to stat wise or something like that. Because I think her concert, no, I think Beyonce's did do more than Taylor Swift's. Whatever the reason it may be. No matter, like, despite her maybe falling just a hair short to Beyonce, or if she does just a little bit better than Beyonce, it don't matter how many um, albums she released, how many awards and accolades and things like that she get. I think in the back of her head, I think it don't really matter, because she's always like looking over her shoulder. Whether that's to the side of her, behind her, whatever the case may be, she's like always looking over her shoulder. Like, oh, what is she doing? Oh, she did that. I wish I could have did that. Um, a lot of people really do say she's the bomb, like all this other stuff. I think it will never matter, because she's just always slightly intimidated by Beyonce. Um, and I think sometimes she does try to like one up her. She tries, and then she always feels like she falls short. Allegedly. So this is pretty interesting. Not too surprising for me, but nevertheless, it's always nice to have things kind of like confirmed for you. So now I want to see if I can get any information on whose movie is going to do better at the box office. I'm so sorry, I got the hiccups. Sound like a drunkard over here. That judgment card just keep coming out for Taylor Swift. Okay, and what is this that wants to flip over? Oh God. We have the Strength, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Wands. We have the Justice card in reverse. We have the Six of Swords in the upright, the Two of Swords in the upright, the Star in reverse, and then we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see. I need no more than 3 cards, Spirit, in regards to how Beyonce movie is going to perform at the box office. And there's the High Priestess. I find it funny that I'm getting a lot of major arcana. So for Taylor Swift, we have the Tower in the upright and the Judgment in reverse. But for Beyonce, we have the Devil in the upright and the Three of Swords in the upright. Because Taylor Swift feels more chaotic, I wonder is there going to be something that's going to happen with her movie, like it's going to get some kind of bad press around it because of her fans or something. Like, oh, they were cutting up at the movies. And going into this, I'm going to let you know this is probably going to be difficult for me to read, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. Okay, let's not try that deck. Let's see. Why is that Capricorn coming up underneath here? I think I will say I don't think that one of them doesn't like that their movies are and their concerts are being held up against each other in a competitive type of way. Like, I wish I could just do what I'm doing without it, like, turn into some kind of competition. I also think there's something here of just like, I feel like one of them feels like they are being copied by the other one. Okay, here we go with that loss card. Loss and excitement. Ain't that funny? Yeah, okay, look. Health. We have friendship. Originality. And then we have ostentation. And I remember what I was saying earlier. I feel like one of them feels like their ideas are being copied. Okay, so here's what I am getting. I feel like here's where Taylor Swift is probably going to eke out and better just a bit ahead of Beyonce when it comes to the sales, is because I feel like Taylor Swift has a younger audience, or she's tapped into a younger audience, so they're more than likely willing to spend the money and the time to go to the movie theaters. Whereas I feel like Beyonce's fans are a bit older. Like she may have like some teens, but I don't think she has like teeny boppers like Taylor Swift does. So I think that's probably where Taylor Swift is going to be able to eke out a bit more money than Beyonce at the box office. However, I think there is going to be some criticisms and critiques in regards to both of their movies because of, especially Taylor Swift, because of how her teeny boppers, her younger fans are like showing up to the theaters, or like how they're acting and conducting themselves in the theaters. Um, so I think that's going to be a thing. The copying, I'm not sure what that is, but why is her like, what is this union and stuff coming up? I wonder, do Beyonce feel like Taylor Swift copies her a lot? And again, that relating to me kind of brings forth like that lover's card of like, um, in the sense of like maybe she's Beyonce isn't just like, for some reason isn't quite connecting with her audience for whatever reason, because even with like this whole thing she's doing with her clothing line, she's had to like close it down and revamp it. For some reason she's having a hard time like breaking the mold of connecting with her audience, whereas I think Taylor Swift has a better connection with her audience. And again, I don't know if it's because she tends to market more to a younger demographic, or she um, can kind of bring in a younger demographic than Beyonce does. But yeah, so we'll see when Beyonce's movie come out. Like, if my interpretations, my guesstimate is correct. Lost excitement, status, and endurance. Somebody is definitely playing the long game here about something though too. Of just like, let's see how long you can last. Okay, but with that out of the way, let's get into, because I need to know why is Beyonce not helping her artists? Like, how does Beyonce feel about Holly? How does Beyonce feel about Holly? Mm, mm. How does Beyonce feel about Chloe? How does Beyonce feel about Chloe? She like, y'all are hopeless and y'all are making me lose money. I think she doesn't like the choices that they made, which is understandable because they're choices she wouldn't make for herself. And I think that's probably the gripe here. Now, how does Chloe feel about Beyonce? Okay, the way that slid out underneath here, I feel like I gotta read that. Okay, so this is what slid out. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Is this the Four of Wands? And then the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles comes up in reverse. This is weird. It's like, I look up to you, I worship you, I love what you do, but I also hate a lot of the lack of care and concern. It's almost like Chloe looks to her as like, you're supposed to be like a mother figure, and I don't feel like I get that from you. That's what this is giving me. Like, I want you to be kind of serve as like a mother figure to me, and I don't feel like I get the attention and care and nurturing and stuff like that that I deserve from you or that I require. And so what is Haley's feelings towards Beyonce? Okay, so we counting this because it's turned to the side. Ooh. Haley said, I'm over it. She has a six of pentacles in reverse, the 4 of cups in the upright, and then she also has the 3 of cups for the underlying energy in reverse here. So creatively, I feel like the girls look up to her. They appreciate her. They love and respect a lot of what she does. But when it comes to like their business or like mentorship and things like that, I think they're like, I could go without it. Okay, what's this here that wanted to pop up? Venus love. Adoration, attraction, and indulgence. Funny enough, she does have the Gemini for the underlying energies. And I think there's something Beyonce see in them that they don't quite see. And I think she's upset that they like they don't get it, like they don't see it. And so I wonder if she's kind of like, okay, well, if y'all don't see it, y'all don't get it. I'm gonna leave y'all to your own devices. I'm gonna give you the rope and see how far you go. You just kind of like leave yourselves out there to dry. And to me, it's odd because it's how like you ever heard of like people who say, oh, I gave my kids everything that I ever wanted when I was younger. And it's like, yeah, that's what you wanted when you were younger, when you were coming up, when you were, wanting your mom and stuff around. That's not exactly what your kid wants. Like, you need to raise your child the way they need to be raised. You need to communicate with them in a way that they can understand. You can't go off of trying to raise your child, your inner child, through your kids, through your children. And that's kind of like, I feel, is going on with Beyonce and Holly and Chloe. I think Beyonce is giving them a lot of free reign. It's kind of like drilling into them, kind of like, this is how you should do this and this and that. Because again, there is some things about Beyonce's come up where she's kind of trying to repeat the formula with them, and they kind of haven't caught on. And so she kind of gets, I think she feels kind of like frustrated or defeated because they're not doing what she needs, or they don't like understand where she's coming from. But I also feel like it's because Beyonce is coming from a place of like, I'm trying to give you all the tools and the keys and stuff like that I wish I had when I was coming up in the industry that I didn't have, that I'm giving you. And it's like, okay, Beyonce, that's not what they want or need particularly. Like, they kind of have to go and bump their head a few times. They got to get a couple of bruises. Like, they're still young. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I think she also understands that, but she has a hard time like reconciling the two in a weird way. I do think Chloe feels a bit ignored. I do think they feel a bit ignored. Okay, what's this that fell? So we have, and she is a Cancer. And then I say she looks to Beyonce like, you're supposed to be my parent, my mom, like my motherly figure. Chloe has mother wounds for whatever reason. This is like the second or third reading I've done on her, and for whatever reason, like her parenting, especially like when it comes to her mother and father, comes up a lot. But I feel like more so with her mom is really bleeding through on this reading. Um, she looks to Beyonce like, you're supposed to be my mom. And funny enough, Cancer does come up because she is a Cancer. I will get this too. I think oh, so this is a weird way to put it. Something that's coming through is that I think Beyonce carries herself in a certain manner, which she is entitled to. Don't get me wrong. I think she's totally entitled to carry her way of just kind of like, I I'm that girl. I'm a bad bee. I know a lot when it comes to this, and tip my hat off to you, respect, because okay, sorry, because you have been in the game for so long, and you're obviously still breaking records and things like that. You're still doing your thing. However, I think with all of the success, I think sometimes she forgets. Um, that this is a different time and place. This is a different kind of era. Like everything isn't the same as like when you were coming up. I think sometimes she can kind of come off a bit callous. Yeah, I think that's the word I want to say. Sometimes I think she can come off a bit callous to people, and it's not like she does it intentionally. She just, to her, it's kind of like in that Virgo mindset, like that totally makes sense. What are you talking about? Like, just do it. Like, don't you? Can't you read my mind? Don't you understand where I'm coming from? Don't you get it? And I think sometimes she kind of she can come across callous or brisk to people, and and it kind of rubs them the wrong way. And that may be a case of like how of what she has done to Taylor Swift before previously. Like, know you're a sweetheart and everything, but I think it's just certain social cues that Beyonce don't always pick up on, because it's just like, to her it's like, okay, dang it, it's common sense. Like, just do it. Like, why are we doing a whole song and dance about it? Okay, and then Holly has Sagittarius and the Scorpio in reverse for her. Um, yeah, I think she feels weighed down a lot from like having to live up to being like quote unquote Beyonce's protege. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know if people have done this, but I wonder if sometimes people are like, okay, you're Beyonce's protege and you out here, you now with like a better guy, for example, or you aren't doing, by this time, by this stage in Beyonce's life, she was doing movies and she had a record deal and she was in a group and she's been winning awards. Like, you aren't doing that. Like, I wonder if that's the thing here about that, and I think it makes it hard for her to kind of just live in the moment. Is if that makes sense. And I think it makes her react in a very Holly fashion. Because like on some of her lives, I noticed she does kind of come off. Sometimes she'll be like looking down at you, like, don't get crazy. Yeah. I wonder if she. I wonder if she feels again if sometimes the way Beyonce kind of like helps them. Are you really helping? Are you really here to help? Are you saying that from a mentor's perspective, or are you saying that as a fellow competitor? And not saying like Beyonce, not saying like Chloe and Halle are, on par or, really competition for Beyonce, because they're not. We just have to be honest. But, the music industry is the music industry. They always are looking to replace someone. Yeah, and again, to me, I feel like they feel like Beyonce isn't the best, like, mentor. I just kind of like what I keep getting. I sometimes I think they feel like she is probably not the best mentor, or that her advice can come across kind of brash. Can I say that, brash? Yep, no room for negotiation. Why has this health card been popping up throughout this whole reading with involving Beyonce? I don't know what that is. Okay, what is this here? You got that ostentation coming up again, and we also have protection. We have revenge. Yeah, I do feel like she is kind of getting back at them for like not staying focused. Okay, really quickly, I have to look up what the ostentation card is, because I don't get that too often. That is the way I be flipping right to the page is funny, or at least the section.
Okay. Take them in the room. Bring them along.
Okay, that makes sense. They were looking for a shortcut. Y'all thought I was gonna give y'all a shortcut, and that's not what this is. You're gonna have to work for it. If y'all thought I was gonna coddle y'all or be a motherly figure or just like have things fall in y'all lap, that's not what I'm about to do. Like, you have to work for it, because that's the only way you're really gonna appreciate it. And I think in doing so, it makes them feel um paranoid, I think is the word I want to say, of like, okay, well, why aren't you helping us more do this or do that? Why can't you get me in this room and that room? And it kind of put their hairs on end. And that is understandable, because I know I definitely was giving her the side of like, okay, you in your concert in Houston or whatever, you bringing out all these other artists and you have two up underneath you and you didn't bring them out for one song. Oh, okay. But I thought we were signed to you and we were supposed to be making money. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up breaking away from her on some like Doja Cat stuff. Like Doja broke away from Jay-Z, and then her career really kind of like set off before she destroyed it. Allegedly. I mean, we don't even know yet. It hasn't. But this is right now for Doja Cat. This isn't turning out too well. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do kind of break away from her, or she break away from them, and kind of start dibbling, dabbling, and doing other things. Because I think there is some things here where Beyonce kind of restricted them on some things, and they kind of like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to. But again, I don't think Beyonce was coming from a malicious space. Really and truly, I don't. Okay, so some of this I feel like it's seeping through the cracks and I'm overlooking it, but this is what I'm getting initially so far, just off rip, kind of like with her and Taylor, with Beyonce and Taylor Swift, and Beyonce and Chloe and Halle. Let me know if there was something here I kind of like overlooked or didn't explain in depth, and kind of let's talk in the comment section below. If you like this reading, you would like to see more readings like this, make sure to hit that like button, the notification bell, and subscribe so you can see the next time I upload. Share this if you care to do so. And without further ado, I'm going to let you go, and you have a great day or evening wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.